Hmm. This
Hello?
guy.
Alpha.
I can hear you. I do. This is why your voice clear today. Hallelujah. Oh.
Behave, Jerry. How you doing now?
I do. I do.
Where Chike?
We do it for
You don't
let's
see
good
Champions
up.
League draw now.
I don't see him. This
How
guy.
you dey feel? How you dey feel?
I'm feeling okay. I'm
It
feeling
pain me say
motivated.
AC Milan no dey una group because I know even one more na but I know even one more na make that Europa.
I don't
Make
understand. I don't
I wanted you
understand.
to finish last in your group because you can't finish first. Bayern go beat una home and away.
Okay.
Galatasaray go beat una home and away. So
Ah, you're a joker.
okay now.
You're a joker. Huge joker.
No problem. How your side? How
We
work?
do. We do. Hey, Chike.
Uh,
Hey bro, how you doing now?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, evening, my brother. Are you the boss? Too?
Chike, Chike,
Nah,
how far now?
nah. See,
I did.
I did, bro. I did.
Uh,
She waiting you want to talk. She waiting you want to talk.
see, I beg, see, Chike. Anything will happen. Nah, Obina. Now,
Ah,
Obina, no,
ah,
now Obina, no make you no sleep. Now Obina, no
no,
make you
no
no sleep.
vex, no vex. No, 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 no. What's happen? I tell she will say, see, it get as things be. But that we supposed to record when she na Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday,
yeah,
Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, no vex, no vex, no vex, no vex,
Nah,
no
it's all
vex.
good,
Family
bro.
man, family man. Chike, we don't marry,
Don't be,
don't
don't,
born to. You know they do like
don't
that.
be, don't be unto
No, they,
family
no,
now.
they, no, they spread half baked rumors.
You say you don't born too. I don't die.
I beg, I'm not born yet.
Oh, but you don't marry.
It's
Nah,
10 years now.
December,
It's 10 years
December.
now.
Oh,
Nah,
wow.
I told December.
Congrats, bro.
Congrats,
Congrats,
oh,
congrats.
congrats. That's
Thanks,
good.
man.
That's dope.
Thanks,
That's
man.
dope.
They say I don't old
She
now, so
want
make I just.
Make it
make
just
you do
settle
as
down.
you need to, Abby.
I will.
She want you to marry.
So let's start the show. Let's start the
She
show.
want you to
They say
marry. You dey
when
try
you marry,
evade person.
why they
See,
deflect?
see this man. Why you dey try evade? Why you dey marry?
I know they're married. I know they're married.
Uh, the most eligible bachelor.
Baby
No
boy for
wahala.
life.
Most time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the best football podcast in the world, Bias Football Takes. I'm your resident Arsenal fan and chief optimist, Obina, and the other guy. You can introduce yourself, I guess.
My name is Oluwaseun Winsala, the only person on this podcast and the guest whose team won last weekend. That's what I have to
Anyway,
just say. That's what I
and
have to say.
this week, this is an interesting week. For the first time this new season, we have a guest. You already know him. He has appeared on the show a couple of times, but we felt it would be a good opportunity to bring him on. We have Chike all the way from Nigeria,
King,
6 hours ahead.
King Chike.
King Chike,
Hey guys,
welcome
what's up,
back to the
man?
show. Yeah,
Thanks for having me,
yeah,
man. Thanks for having me. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah.
Thanks for coming back.
It's a pleasure to have you back. And so we have quite a number of things we want to cover this week. We will go over the recap from the match day three games. Then we will talk about something that is creating a lot of something that's really burning now in the world of football. The Spanish FA's mess. We touched on it last week of Luis Rubiales, the Spanish FA president who kissed a player at the World Cup trophy presentations, and the mess that has ensued from that. And then the Champions League draw just held this morning, so we'll talk about the groups and the prospects of the different teams, especially the English teams. And then Manchester United seems to be going through a difficult or uncertain phase in their under Eric Ten Hag's tenure. So we'll discuss that a bit, and then we'll talk about the games of the upcoming match day, including Arsenal versus Man U. So quickly, this past weekend, Sheon. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
guess I'll just touch on them real quick, and then any games that caught your attention, Chike, feel free to chime in as well. So
Okay.
Chelsea beat Luton 3-0. It was a very comfortable game. Bournemouth lost to Tottenham 2-0. Arsenal Fulham 2-2. Brentford Palace 1-1. Let's finish now before you start laughing. Uh, Everton Wolves. Wolves beat Everton, so Everton is struggling as we expect them to. Uh, United somehow beat Nottingham Forest 3-2, and then West Ham surprisingly beat Brighton 3-1, even though the game was at the Amex. On Sunday, Burnley lost to Villa 3-1. City beat Sheffield 2-1, and then Liverpool miraculous. Well, yeah, I guess it was a club masterclass, and especially Nunes. They said it was a Darwinian evolution. uh, beat Newcastle 2-1. So, all right, any games that caught your attention, and then any surprise? Yeah, any surprise games, guys.
I don't think any game surprised me, except the Western one. That game
Mm.
was just a ridiculous game, and I really enjoyed it because it was like rewinding back the clock to days of bolting with Okocha and Co. You know what? You want to hold the ball, Arsenal take the ball.
Yeah,
Both teams will just take the ball up in the air. We see how you guys will
yeah,
get the ball. It was an enjoyable match. I know
yeah.
a lot of like fans are getting tired of that passing game that EPL is trying to do. EPL teams are trying to play. So I guess people are beginning to enjoy this West Ham team. But we'll see how far they can go with this with their Yoruba will say Jangba football. We'll see how far we'll go.
No, it was so there were a couple of games that were like that. That were, I mean, I guess that the results uh, or the statistics will not portray how the results like are not told by the match statistics. If you look at the stats alone, you miss the entire picture. But so West Ham Brighton was like that. It was a
Yeah.
smash and grab type of game because Brighton, controlled the game. They had the what's it called much larger share of the possession. They created more chances, but somehow West Ham just seemed to take their chances. I mean, the possession of the was 82-18, so
Yeah.
that will tell you how lopsided it was. They had more chances on target, they had more chances off target, and somehow West Ham won the game.
Chike,
So it was a smash and grab.
Did you watch the
Yeah.
game?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights. But what I want to say, there are two things I want to say about the game. The first is that I think for we fans, the way we interpret football, I mean, different people have different philosophies of football, you get. And I understand when
Yeah.
someone has like 82% of possession, you view that as, well, that team must have had control. But for David Moyes, that might have been his own game plan. So to him, ceding possession might be his own way of having control of the game. It means that the game might be flowing according to how he may have planned it.
Set
Moyes is
system
not,
up. Yeah.
so Moyes is not the kind of person that works with a lot of possession. He's usually a counter-attacking person. He's used to being the underdog, and that was one of the problems they had at Manchester United. He kind of wanted to bring that underdog mentality to United when, of course, United was like the top dog. Yeah, that was the way the team was set up. But for him, I think that may have worked to his favor. So while people must have seen it as, well, the start not or the scoreline not telling the entire story, I think for Moyes that might have been what exactly he wanted. The second thing I wanted to say, or I would like to say, is that I've been impressed with how they've done business at West Ham, which is not something I thought I'll say about like 3-4 weeks ago. They've smartly reinvested the Declan Rice money. They brought in James Ward-Prowse. They brought in Alvarez from Ajax, and of course they brought in Kudus. Kudus scored 18 goals last season for Ajax, and this season he has already scored 4 goals in 3 games. So that was very smart business, and they've added the depth to a midfield that has Paqueta and Suchek. So honestly, in my opinion, I think that might be one of the top, maybe top 8, top 7 midfields in the Premier League right now. And I won't be surprised if they somehow get back into Europe and get a European Conference League spot. It's been smart business from West Ham so far, and it's paying off. It started very slow in the window, but like I said, the businesses they've done so far, they're paying off, and it will be interesting to see how things pan out for them over the course of the season.
Yeah, and so that talk of seeing possession, controlling the game without the ball, I feel like, I mean, 100% I agree with you. Like, to me, you have to play to your strength, you have to play to your philosophy, and I also think that it's gonna work. It's gonna work out well for them this season because of the way a lot of teams have set up or are trying to set up. So there'll be like an antithesis to what people are setting up. Like you have your flag back four, you have your three in the middle or four in the middle, then you have your striker that is just like the spearhead. It's just all he wants to do is ask you your defenders and score goals. Doesn't care about all those coming back, coming deep to get the ball. Although he does that, he has the energy for that.
Yeah.
But his first instance is to when you get the ball. And the funny thing is when they pass the ball to you, they don't pass the ball to feet. They pass the ball to space. So you can run across to get the ball because it's confidence of getting the ball ahead of the defenders. So it's like like an antidote to the style of football that we are beginning to see now that everybody wants to
Absolutely.
copy.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. Like you said, if everyone is doing the same thing, playing the same, building from the back, possession football, all those things, anyone who comes with something different and
Different, yeah.
plays like you want football, go direct, that person might just come with the like you said, the antidotes to the possession football. So yeah, I expect great things from them. They've invested smartly or reinvested smartly, and hopefully it pays off. Me, I'm a huge fan of people making investments in sports and having it pay off. So hopefully it pays off for them.
Anyways, we will revisit that. And I feel like they'll be the Newcastle of this season. Maybe not as much as making top four, but the way they are playing, with the energy they have, I feel like they would be able to do what Newcastle did to a lesser level. I don't know if you agree with that.
I think what might be the challenge for them is how they balance Europe
Right.
and the Premier Leagues, because
Yeah.
last season they were very excellent in the Europa Conference League, but of course it
Yep.
affected their league form.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they have a deep enough squad to compete in fact, not even in 4 tournaments you get, because obviously they're going to be in the League Cup and the FA Cup. So I don't know if they have a large enough squad to compete in 4 tournaments. But if they save their best for the Europa League, they're going to make some noise there. If they save their best for the Premier League, trust me, they're going to get into at least the top 8.
Yeah. And I don't think they lost any game in that conference league.
Oh no, they didn't. I don't think they
Yeah,
did.
I remember. Yeah, because I watched a lot of that games. Anyways, let's move on. I think the one that made me celebrate the most, you'll be surprised. The game I'm about to talk about, Aston Villa and Burnley. I was so happy that they lost. I was happy that Burnley lost. I was so happy because I'm really happy because of that Burnley fan that hates company's guts. I'm like, yes, change your style of football. You want to pass the ball. This is Burnley. But yeah, I was happy they lost. They lost 3-1. So
Newcastle Liverpool was the game for me. I mean, I they had a bunch of Allison is, at least in my opinion, well, he has been one of the best in the world, but right now he's starting to make a claim for being one of the, hands down the best keeper in the world, because
yeah.
some of the saves that he has made just this season alone, I mean, he has kept, because the Liverpool's back line is completely toast right now. They are still trying to figure out their identity, especially with Klopp trying also to do this playing from behind and inverted fullback
Trent.
tactic. Yeah, inverting trends, and so people keep, it's easy to go down Liverpool down the left side, But Alisson, time and time again, has been keeping the team in the game, and because he kept them a number of times in this game, until they then made the sub that to bring on Darwin Nunes, and it's funny. The guy is just a very chaotic and unpredictable player because the thing with him is, you give him 10 chances, he'll miss 8, and the misses will be horrendous, right? But those two, when he scores them, first of all, they tend to be consequential. But then more importantly, the way he takes them, you would think that, like, he would score 10 out of 10 with the way he finishes those two that he finishes, So but shout out to Klopp for, I guess, still remaining retaining confidence in him and bringing him on at such a critical time where you would think that you wouldn't want to be as embarrassed. But I guess they had nothing to lose at that point in time. And given how Newcastle had missing chances, you could start to see that they were getting nervous. So it was a good tactical change by Klopp to bring him on. And then they won the game. So
But
shout out to
we
him.
predicted that Newcastle was going to lose, though. Right?
But when you're 1-0 of Van Dijk gets sent off, I mean, you kind of think that that's the game right there, right?
Yeah,
So
I feel you,
that's why we love the sport, though. That's why we love the sport.
man. Okay, Chike, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, for me in football, if you are to learn a very important lesson, the way the gods of football teach them to use, like, it's in a very harsh manner. So someone like Klopp, he had to lose the Champions League against Chelsea, a game that he was expected to win, for him to learn that, what, don't overthink these things. Play
Yep.
Pedri as a DM. Don't start changing what I don't know in the final. So Pep learned that lesson the hard way. And I think for the Newcastle manager, Eddie Howe, I think he learned the lesson the hard way, because this was the game that he was supposed to win. There was no reason why they wouldn't win it. And he took off. As soon as he took off Tonali, they gave up the equalizer. As soon as
Yes.
Joelinton went off, that's
Yep.
when Nunes scored the winning goal. He took off Gordon as well. Gordon had been tormenting Trent all afternoon. So, taking off these players, ceding control of that game, I don't know.
What was he thinking?
It's still puzzling. He had the game, he had all 3 points. He just had to kill off the game. And I understand if that second goal wasn't coming, but all he had to do was just to keep at it.
Just hold on.
Not change that midfield. The midfield was working well. They were keeping possession. But as soon as Tonali went off, as soon as Joelinton went off, the equalizing goal and the winning goal just went in. So for him, I think this is the way that the football gods want him to learn that harsh lesson of not taking off control, very late in the game, or just assuming the 3 points are there. And yeah, he learned the lesson
against Liverpool. That's
against
arrogance.
Liverpool.
That's arrogance. That's huge arrogance. That's arrogance. Anyways, yeah.
So
Sheffield City.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you watch the game?
I watched part of it. I mean, I think everyone expected City to win. I didn't, and expected them to win by a more convincing scoreline. But a win is a win. Sheffield, yeah.
You sound pained.
No, I didn't want them to win, honestly, but it is what it is.
It's inevitable.
Likewise, United. I saw. Because I didn't watch that game, but I think it was 10 minutes in. You guys were already 2-0 down.
And let's
4 minutes.
Keep, 4 minutes.
4
let's
minutes.
Let's keep United to when we're ready to discuss United.
Anyway, so I mean there were some interesting games. Tottenham is doing well, I think. Like I said, that's a team I think people should watch out for. Once they sort out their Richarlison problem, I think they will even they'll do a lot better, because James Maddison, that guy is going to have an incredible season.
See,
same thing for Bissouma and Sarr.
I'll say it again. I'll say it again. Spurs are not doing anything this season because they had one of the best strikers in our generation and they couldn't do anything. So you cannot tell me other people are going to score as many goals as they scored, because they don't score goals.
No.
So
but there's a new manager in charge, and that
It's
makes a
not. It's that
huge
manager is
difference.
not a miracle worker. It's Spurs. I'm telling you, it's Spurs. But let's move on. Let's go. Let's talk about Arsenal for now. What happened? What happened in that game
No,
now?
there's not much to talk about. The team lost 3 points. They dropped 2 points there, and like there's nothing fantastic about that. It
Did,
was
did, did,
unfortunate.
did, did you deserve to draw the game?
We should have won the game.
You are
I
a
mean, what do
liar. This is why I don't like Arsenal fans. This is why I don't like you guys. You guys
How can you ask
never
me?
say the
How can
truth. I swear. See, if I go to heaven and I see Arsenal fans there, no, I'll
then you
just
know
go
you're
to
in
hell.
hell.
I'm in hell
Then you know you're in
because you
hell.
are liars. Like what? Nah.
What do you mean? So Adama Traore had the chance right at the end, but the I mean, look. The truth of the matter is we were in control of that match, and there's nothing you can say that that will change that fact. We were in control of that game. Then they got the red card, and for some reason the team just seemed to take their foot off the pedal. That's unfortunate, but for you to say that we were not in control of that game is just flat out dishonest.
That's not what I said though. I said,
No.
did you deserve to draw the game?
So if what do you mean? Did we deserve? We
You
should have
see,
won the game.
Don't worry. Let's move on. You are stuttering already.
No.
Let's move on.
No, because
Let's
I'm
move
trying to process. I'm trying to give you an answer befitting of your question. You
Don't
said,
worry.
did we deserve to draw the game? We should have won the game. We didn't even okay, I guess I should say we didn't deserve to draw. We should have won the game. Is that a fair answer for you?
Let's move on. So, Chike, last week, we just touched on the Spanish FA mess, and truthfully, we didn't know it was going to be this crazy. I'll be open now. Like we're just like, this happened. Like
we thought it was a
didn't know.
done deal. Yeah,
we were like, okay, this is like open and shut case. Like let's just move on. And within a week, like just 1 week, the whole world has just scattered. Like what's happening? And there are people now. Is your what's it called? Spain.
It's his league, right?
Like he loves them.
Why do you say I love them?
He likes flavor. He doesn't like
I'm a United fan now, so what am I doing?
He doesn't like fish and chips. Fish and chips like he likes flavors. It's crazy.
Anyway, regarding the whole mess, right? What I would say is that, I mean, I have very, very long thoughts about this, but I honestly believe that what Luis Rubiales did, and more importantly, how it has been handled afterwards, has been a complete and utter disgrace, right? He deserves whatever punishment comes his way, but it's very important to note that this is not an isolated incident, right? The Spanish women have been very vocal about their displeasure with how things are being run and their treatment for years now. So I'm sure you guys read about this. Last year, 15 players withdrew from the national team because of this. They cited different things about, their displeasure, basically. And when things got a little bit better, 8 made a U-turn and made themselves available for selection, and only 3 were recalled. So that was Bonmati, Onabacha, and I think Carl Dente, right? So these women complained and complained. They were very unhappy with their coach, and even during the tournament, they barely celebrated any of their wins with the manager. There are sometimes that he would attempt to give them high fives and to leave him hanging. It was that bad. So it wasn't until they won the final itself that they celebrated with him, because it's the final, right? So yeah, this unfortunate case just threw more light on what they have been complaining about for years now. Having Luis Rubiales resign is a good first step. But there are larger issues that also need to be addressed. Okay, what stood out to me was that when he gave his Wolf of Wall Street press conference on Friday, the entire room applauded.
Yeah.
I can't seem to get that off my mind. The entire room applauded. And it wasn't just like they applauded, it was like a standing ovation. You get. So there are people who genuinely think that what he did wasn't a big deal. And among those applauding was the Spanish women's coach, Jorge Vilda, right? He was there in the room.
Yep. He was in the front.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't until Monday that he saw how bad things had gone. He saw the backlash, and then he put out that silly statement condemning Luis Rubiales, saying that those actions don't reflect what he stands for, and so on and so forth. So honestly, I feel like we as men, we need to do better. We need to hold our fellow men accountable um, for true change to occur in not just Spanish football, but in women's football. These already established institutions just they need to be altered, they need to be changed, or they need to be turned down. I read that out of I think 140 Spanish Federation members, just six are women. So how can they be treated correctly when they're so underrepresented? I'm sure it's the same for Nigeria or countries that have similar issues. There's this essay written by this late American author, Audre Lorde. It's titled "The Master's Tools Will Never Dismantle the Master's House," which pretty much implies that the product of a corrupt system will never be the ones to dismantle the people who put that system up in the first place. You get so I can't help but think of how applicable this is to the whole situation. Men like Jorge Vilda and everyone that applauded Luis Rubiales are the product of this misogynistic Spanish football system. And if you're
Yeah.
relying on them for true change, good luck. Honestly, good luck. So, yes, kicking Luis Rubiales out or suspending him for 90 days is a good start, but it's not enough. We already know what people like Vinicius suffer there, with the racist abuse and all that. So it's not just women. I think a lot of minority groups suffer in Spain. So yeah, I think men, we need to be allies to those women. We need to stand up for what is right with our full chest. And yeah, that I've not seen the analytics for this podcast, but I'm very certain that at the very least, 90% of the listeners are men. So it's important that these kind of discussions are had on these kinds of podcasts where it's men that are listening, because the women already know, they
What
already
the issue
educated
is.
about it. Yeah. So it's important for men to throw more light on these kind of issues, to hold ourselves accountable. So I'm very pleased that this kind of discussions are being had. So yeah, suspending him, kicking him out is a good first step, but there's a lot of work to be done in not just Spanish football, but in football as a whole.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I don't know what the issue is with Spanish football and what they have against women, because really truly, funny enough, I've been following them for like a while now, and I'm very familiar with the story of how they tried to protest against the manager then, and how it's still happening. But we'll see how things pan out, because when I saw that Move of Wall Street press conference and I saw the way the men applauded, their faces, it felt like, yes, you are doing the right thing, you don't do anything wrong, stand on your mandate, stand on your mandate. Like,
Yeah, it's very sick. It was disturbing. Like I said, to me, that was. I mean, the kiss was bad. Don't get me wrong, but I can't seem to shake off that press conference with my. They stood up and they applauded him.
yeah,
It's
like
ridiculous. Yeah.
it's crazy.
No, no. So I think so. I agree with both of you that men need to do a lot more. I think that football, though, as a sport, has a violence problem. I can't remember where, or just it has a problem that everyone needs, like every man needs to address, because I can't remember what it was about during the World Cup, of how domestic violence rates go up
Yeah,
significantly,
yeah,
so all of these things are coupled. There's just this feeling that, or there's this feeling that it seems that men think that women are the objects to exert their, whether frustrations or whatever it is, whatever emotions it is that they're feeling, and they can just do whatever they want whenever they want and expect to get away with it. That's the kind of thing that would give someone on such a stage to act like that, because he feels that it's just a run of the mill everyday type of activity that he can
yeah,
do and get away with. Yeah, so I think that both FIFA, I mean, so it has to come, FIFA has to do something, but then each person in their daily lives as well has to do something to, if you see something, say, like, speak up, like defend people who are, who you see are being harassed. Because
yeah.
yeah, it's a serious problem. Now to this guy, I mean, it's so absurd and ridiculous. And then they've now turned it into a gender war thing of
Yeah.
how the feminists are trying to get men, and Spain is becoming ruled by feminists. And now his mom is saying that he's being persecuted. She's doing hunger strike in a church, and then it's now a culture war as well, because they then turn it into a thing of, oh, it's we the religious people versus those people. So it's just a huge mess
It's ridiculous.
uh,
So,
that that can be remedied by one expelling him. But then I think that the reason why there's so much hesitation in expelling him is because so many other people either tied, will be implicated by more sexual assault stories will come up, or cases of fund misappropriation and bribery. And so, like, that's why a lot of people seem to not want to touch this, because if you unearth, there are a lot of things that will be unearthed, if you touch it. So yeah,
yeah.
that's my.
So I know we are guys, right? And I think one of the major issues that I've been able to come in conclusion with is you always want to fight for your kinsman. You always want to, because you see yourself in that person. Not necessarily see yourself in that person, but you have that camaraderie. So if a woman says something, women will support. If a man says something, men will support, regardless of how the situation is. And I feel that that's what is happening in this instance, because it is not normal for someone to go on that kind of huge stage and kiss another person. Like, it is not normal. It's not a normal thing. Because if it's normal, we'll have seen it a lot of times, right? And I always ask this question: if you work in a corporate world and you're a manager, can you randomly kiss your subordinates and think it's normal? Like, oh, there's nothing wrong. Okay, let's even say let's even say it was even a spur of the moment issue. Like, oh, you got carried away, and you were so excited that you did it, right?
Right.
As
the defiance.
Exactly, like, as an honorable man, when that kind of thing happened, you'll have come and have said, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done that. If in fact, even butter us up a little and say, oh, in this life, in this day and age where women have come out and complain about harassment, I'm really, really sorry that I had to cross that line, and I will accept any punishment. Honestly, if I was the one that kind of thing happened to, God, please don't let it happen to me, because I beg.
I was going to say, I'm like, are you trying to tell us something, guy?
No. I'm just saying, like, let's say at the moment. No, I've already said. Stop. I've already said that. Let's even say it was a spur of the moment incident. But as an honorable person, you will come out and say, I'm really sorry that I made that so uncomfortable, and understanding how harassment, especially the dynamics between power dynamics, knowing that I am the employer of this person and I'm a male, and knowing how women have come out, and knowing the history of what has been going on behind closed doors in this particular association, I apologize fully. And if they say I should resign, I will resign honorably, so as to quell all this noise. Because if you had stepped aside, this whole noise wouldn't have been this much, and they would have forgiven him in the next 10 years. But now, the way he's gone by doing these things, I don't think he's going to be forgiven, because it's just crazy.
So it's even the guy was making a mockery of the entire world, because everyone saw that. We saw it. And you're now telling us, oh no, she initiated. Oh no, she approved.
Mutual.
Then you pressure her into releasing a sham of a statement. I mean, it's crazy. That's what it is. But it just goes to.
I was
Yeah,
going
go
to
on.
say, I was going to say, you said something that I think I agree with. So you did mention that there's probably a lot to. He's probably sitting on a lot of dirt, which is why he has not. Which is
Yeah,
why he
it
seems
has
very
to be.
confident. And I honestly believe that because
It has to be.
UEFA still hasn't made a public statement about this.
Yeah.
But
They've
but
been
you know,
very quiet.
is the vice president now?
He's a vice president, which is what we're saying.
I know. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That he's sitting on a lot of debt. He has debt on all these people.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a lot of
Yeah.
them. There are probably people that have done worse than him that have been
Worse.
covered
Oh,
up,
yeah.
or there are
Yes.
like
Oh, yeah.
financial
Yes.
misappropriations that
Oh, yeah.
if they mistakenly misyan, he will expose a
The
lot
guy
of
will
them.
just,
But
and he
it's,
seems like the
yeah,
kind of guy that will sing.
Yes, now.
If
yes,
you
now.
cast even the one they did ask him. So
Yeah,
that's why people are afraid. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
seems
I think.
very, very confident in himself. But that's
Or
why FIFA had to step in, and it's like I said, I was talking to somebody. So it's a problem when FIFA is the voice of reason in a
I'm
room.
telling you, like
Right.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Imagine when FIFA is the one making the right decision.
Yeah.
That's
So
just absurd.
I mean, it's very unfortunate, and we send our commiserations and our support to Jenny Hermosa, brilliant player and very brave woman, and to all the women who are out there, fighting the power structures.
Yeah.
I mean, from our little voice in this corner of the world, we send you our support and solidarity. So
I'm not sure if you guys saw the video of a jockey that was being kissed by his employer. I don't know if you guys saw
no,
that.
I didn't see
So people have been using that video as a counterpoint that, can you see why is there no uproar? And I'm like, this is it's like people don't understand what the problem is. And like you can see what the issue is, but you don't want to address it head on. You want to use some very
whataboutism, yeah.
whataboutism, great. Like first things first, women are more harassed than men. I'm not saying men are not being harassed, but women are more harassed by men, and they've been crying out about this situation. So you cannot just turn a blind eye and say, oh, because this person, so how come there's no uproar with this person?
If you want your own uproar, then start it.
No. Let's even say that. No, first things first. Everybody, keep your lips. Don't kiss random people. Right? I agree with that. Don't be going about.
I'm saying the people who are saying, well, what about men?
Jockey,
Then you
yeah.
too. Then you should say something about it. Don't be focused on but nobody's. Then say something about it, right? Like it's anyway.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
Let's move on. We don't.
Thank you both for touching on such an important subject. But then today we had the Champions League draw, and I think right off the bat, everyone can agree that Group F is the group of death.
Yeah.
Right. So I can quickly go over this group. I wanted Group A to be tighter, but that's fine. Group A is Manchester, is Bayern Munich, United, Copenhagen, Galatasaray. I was really hoping that Copenhagen spot will be taken by AC Milan, but that's fine.
You can do your own FIFA. What is it called? FIFA 24 and switch.
UEFA. Group B, Sevilla, Arsenal, PSV, Lens. I think we know who finished first there.
Yeah, those two. I feel like Sevilla might just be third because they like Europa League. So maybe PSV and Arsenal. But
who finished first?
Arsenal finished first. Arsenal finished first.
Okay.
If they have
in your group,
in
your group, I know who finished first.
Bayern,
I know who will not finish first.
We're not going to fight first, but we're not.
Okay, good.
It will be second.
You might finish third.
No, we're not finished third. Okay. If you finish third, then Chike will have personally have to go.
Do you remember that Nelly jam from the 2000s, the mid 2000s, was it the early 2000s? Number one. Can you remember that jam? Nelly, number one.
Yes.
Can you remember the jam? Where he said, what does it take to be number one? 2 is not the winner, and 3, nobody remembers. So as long as United and Arsenal don't win the Champions League, nobody's going to remember all these.
Exactly.
So please, we're in the same boat. Nobody's going to remember us. Nobody's going to remember us.
Here's the thing, Chike. Here's the thing, though. How do you know Arsenal won't win it?
If I hear,
you can't win the PL. You can never win PL first.
See, you've had to fight for all 7 points of yours this Premier League season. I hope you know that.
Wait. I would like to say something. Okay. This brings a very interesting debate that I've wanted to have on this platform. which is easier to win? And in fact, I think we're going to create a poll for the audience. Which is easier to win, the league or the Champions League? I say the Champions League is easier to win
It
than the
depends
league.
on which league you're talking about. You're talking about Premier League.
Absolutely. For the sake of this
argument,
this argument, we'll include two leagues actually. Actually, no. Actually, every other league is not as important. So yeah, the Premier League and the Champions League. I say the Champions League is easier to win.
That's what I was 117.
No. We're going to, which is why I say we're going to win it this year.
And then let's move on. Let's move on to debate.
Please, no. So I'm giving my answer. No. Before we proceed, gentlemen. I want to hear your answers. I say it's easier to win the Champions League for Arsenal than it is to win the league. What do you guys say?
Honestly, in the year 2023, just for this season alone, or in fact, let's say the past few years, I think I agree with you. Winning the Champions League it's a bit. I mean, it's not easy. I think let's use the word harder. I think winning the Premiership is harder than winning the. When you say easier, it kind of waters it down, makes it as if you're just rolling. No. Maybe you use the word harder. Winning the Premier League.
No, but we're all gentlemen here. We're all gentlemen here. We understand what
we're
saying.
I understand. I don't
agree.
Now, before they say what you're saying out of context and say, these guys, they're saying winning the Champions League is easier.
No. Of course not. We know it's. We know. I mean, Sean, what were you saying?
But you have no.
I don't agree. I feel
really
Champions League is harder.
Really? Present your case. Present your case in the court of law.
No. So here's the thing, right? And this is what I've always. This argument is age old. It's not. We didn't start today. The reason I'm saying is that. Wait now. The reason I'm saying is harder is because you have the best from all the leagues coming together to play, right? So you cannot tell me just based off that alone is just enough for you to say it's harder. And number two, anything can happen to you and you're out. Like it's not like straightforward. Like you have like another like. Next week you can get your 3 points, or next week you can get your 1 point. No,
you mess up like you agree with us then?
No, I'm not agreeing with you.
Wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying Champions League is harder because one, you have the best of the best playing there. Two, it's a very precarious league because anything can happen to you. You are out. Small thing can just look up and just kick you out.
Not really. Sean, it's 10 games. You only play 10 games.
I'm not going to argue.
Sean, what I was saying with that, and my own answer was also specific to this year because I feel like the competition in the Premier League right now is at an all-time high. You have a team like Burnley, newly promoted Burnley, spending close to 90 million in the transfer.
Yeah.
Well, the entire Spanish football, the entire La Liga is spending just a little over 300 million in the transfer window. You get so the way these teams can reinvest in play in get more quality. I think it's so. When I look at Real Madrid, for example, when they won that their 3-peat, right? I don't believe they won their league title during that stretch, or maybe they won just once. They found it very hard to win the league, and that was because in the league there was very little room for error. If they lose just one game, if they drop if they fall like 4 points behind Barcelona, that is all. So they have to be like close to perfect in the league, right?
Okay.
And it's almost the same thing with the Premier League right now. When Arsenal messed up for what was it, 3 weeks? They lost one for 3 weeks, and that was it. They lost the champion.
But you know that the argument of small teams buying players, they still lose to the big teams. So regardless of if you have more money than them, you're just still losing. So if Burnley faces PSG tomorrow, or they face let me see PSV, they'll still lose. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's still this old like. And you know what's funny? Even in Europa League, Conference League, the big teams are still the ones that will go ahead to win the competition. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sean, think about how insane the competition in Premier League is right now. I keep saying right now. A team like Liverpool didn't make top 4. Just imagine how insane that is. A team like West Ham that won the conference.
They were fighting for relegation.
They didn't even make. Yeah, you get.
They were fighting for relegation.
So I'll say that right now. I keep saying for this season or even last season, I think the Premier
For
League has
Chike,
more
no.
competition because you have to be
For the
borderline.
past, I would say 5 years, right?
Mm.
The Premier League, because you have a team like, remember we're saying winning both trophies.
Mm.
You had a team like Liverpool. Liverpool got to 97 points, 97,
Yeah,
right? And they didn't win
yeah,
the
and they
league.
didn't win it. Yeah, it's insane.
Anyways, do let us burn down too much
So
on this.
so my point still stands that I dare say that Arsenal will win the Champions League this season.
Okay. So if Arsenal doesn't win it, that means the Champions League is higher than Premier League.
Not necessarily,
Okay,
but I'm
okay.
just saying that.
Okay.
I'm just saying that. And anyway,
Don't worry.
yeah,
Let's move on. Group C, quick. Group C.
And then Group C. Oh yeah, we're going over. Look at how talk of Arsenal winning. Where were we? So we
Group
said Group
C.
A United. Group C. Wow, that's a tricky one. But I think Napoli and Madrid. So Napoli, Madrid, Braga, and Union Berlin. Group D.
Don't sleep
Benfica.
on Union Berlin. No.
Union Berlin. Yeah, they'll pose it.
They'll
pose
it.
Yeah, but I expect Madrid and Napoli to do it. I think Napoli will finish first though. Benfica, Inter, Salzburg.
You're never allowing Chike say the two teams that are going to top.
I think I agree with that. Napoli or Madrid.
Okay.
And maybe in that order as well.
Yeah.
Benfica, Inter, Salzburg, Sociedad. That's a tricky one actually.
Yeah,
but I think it'll still be Inter, Benfica in that order.
Because of experience.
There'll be Salzburg might be tricky too, but even
Sociedad,
I think
I'll tell you from experience that's Sociedad because they alongside Brighton that beat us in the opening day, they are the only team to beat Manchester United at Old Trafford under Ten Hag. So it was just Brighton and Sociedad at Old Trafford, right?
Yeah.
So that's a very, very tricky team to play against. I know they don't really have lots of flashy players, but man, if they mean business, if they get you. So
it's 6 games. It's 6 games, so it's not like it's 6 games. That's why I feel like experience will come to play. But I see what you're saying, though.
They topped Man United's group in the Europa League last season.
When I know Sabi now,
wow, Sheon. Honest man.
Let's continue.
So, but who do you guys say? So, Inter, Benfica, both of you?
I mean, if I have to put my money on a team, Inter, Benfica.
Yeah.
Group E, Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio, Celtic. That's a tricky one, actually. Because not that he will carry the team, but I saw Carrasco to Saudi, yet another one. But I think Atletico, Lazio. I think Atletico, Lazio. Yeah. How about you guys?
It's funny that the two teams you didn't mention are the teams that won their respective leagues. Celtic and Feyenoord. I've been very impressed with Feyenoord last season, even the season before that. I'll be surprised if Atletico and Lazio don't go through, but I think Feyenoord have the quality to cause an upset. Celtic, I don't know about Celtic. In fact, I've not been impressed with them for a very long time, maybe 10 years now. I don't. They've always been. They make the group stage and then they leave from the group stage. I can't remember the last time.
They're just there for attendance.
Yeah, they just got to get receipts and get money. So I think we can count them out. But yeah.
Now this group, PSG, Dortmund, Milan, Newcastle.
Let me start with Newcastle. Newcastle on jar by default. They're out by default.
Are you sure about? Can you put your money?
Exactly. Are you sure? Can you confidently say that?
Not even confidently say. Can you confidently put your money where your mouth is? Can you confidently do that?
Why do you guys think otherwise?
Newcastle. Why not? Bro, Newcastle.
Listen.
Forget what happened last Sunday. Forget what happened last Sunday. That's a very good team.
Okay.
That is a very, very good team.
Before you finish what you're saying, right? I've always been a believer of Newcastle for 2 seasons now. Trust me, like I believe it's so much in them. I'm not downgrading them, but one of the few things that I always take into consideration is your experience in the competition and your manager. If your manager is experienced in all ramifications and the quality that you have, right?
What is PSG's experience in Champions League?
Are you kidding me?
No. What is what is their experience? Because yes, they are again. I mean, they've not won it. They've just lost Messi and Neymar. So yes, they had Asensio for free, Kolomwani and
Don't call names. Don't call individual names. That's where you get it wrong.
no. So
You can't
no,
call
because
individual names as
because
a club as a whole.
that's what I say. As a club, PSG actually is a disappointment. I'm sorry that you win
Nobody's
the
not
French
saying
league.
that. Nobody's saying. Listen, nobody's saying they're not disappointments. I'm talking about experience because you cannot sit down there and tell me PSG doesn't have experience, and in the same breath tell me Arsenal is going to win the Champions League. Because have you guys won it before? No. Have you guys been second together? Yes. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, do you get where I'm going to?
No, but the point is, so if Arsenal and Newcastle are in the same group, I won't confidently say that Arsenal will beat Newcastle. That's what I'm trying to get you to see.
But
That it's not
I'm not
certain.
saying PSG would beat Newcastle. I'm saying Newcastle
No, but you
is
said
out
Newcastle.
by default. They can beat PSG home and away and still not go through.
That's
Does
what
that
I'm
make
trying to
sense?
make you see.
So it's not.
It makes. I get what you're saying, but I don't think you're seeing what I'm saying. That it's not certain that Newcastle won't make it out of that group. That's what
Okay.
I'm trying to make you see.
So are you guys saying Newcastle will make second round?
I'm saying that it's possible. That's what I'm trying to let you know. It's possible.
Okay.
You can't just write them off like that.
Okay. Mention the people that will come out of that group F.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to let you. I can't say. I say.
But I can tell you.
Okay. No, to me, I was going to say, right, that when I look at things like groups like this, on a personal level, I like to judge it based on the strength of their midfields. I know the attacking talent is there, and obviously, PSG's attacking talent is, I would say, the best. But when I look at the four teams and their midfields right now, I think you can make an argument that Newcastle has the best midfield out of
Thank
all four.
you.
So it is not
You can't just write them off.
like Obina is saying, he's not saying he guarantees they'll make it, but at the same time, you can't also just write them off. You know, it's one of those teams, it's one of those groups where you can make a valid argument where any of the four teams making it to the knockout stage, and you'll be right. I think the only team that I'll say I can guarantee will go through is PSG, and even last season, PSG became second in their group that had Juventus and Benfica.
Yes.
Benfica balled, man. That was when Enzo played so well in that in the group stage. Obviously he played a pivotal role for Argentina at the World Cup, and then they also had other players.
Yeah.
You get, so it's one of those tricky groups. I know. I believe.
I'll watch every game in that group.
So
I'll watch every game.
Let me give you guys a bit of history with this current Newcastle squad. They don't play well.
Sorry, lesson teacher.
They don't play They don't play well against teams that hold the ball. I've noticed that since last season. In fact, 3 seasons now. Previous season before last season and this season. So that's what I'm saying. They'll be out because you guys saw when they played against Man City.
Which team holds the ball very well in this?
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Because even the PSG we're talking about, they might lose Verratti before the Champions League because Verratti is very close to moving out. So who else is in that midfield that can cause them problem? In the attack, I agree 100%. Mbappe, Dembele, and Goncalo Ramos, right? But in that midfield, Di Maria is gone, of course. Messi is gone in that midfield. And all the them Herrera, Verratti, all those guys are gone. It's a new look midfield. So
it's Danilo Pereira. Danilo Pereira.
Okay. Anyways, okay. So who are those making it? Just don't miss too much.
I mean, if I have to pick, I'll say Paris and Dortmund, but I'll not be surprised if Newcastle.
In the end, you still come back to
no. I say if I have to pick, as in if you put a catapult to my head, I don't do guns. If you put catapult to my head, I say I'll pick Paris and Dortmund, but I'll put asterisks and say Newcastle and Milan can surprise both
okay,
teams.
so 4 of them move on. Because I don't understand what you're saying. Chike, what's your own? Because
it's tough for me. If same thing with him, PSG or not PSG, because PSG they have Mbappe. I like Milan's wing play. With Pulisic, with Chukwueze, with Leao, and then with Giroud. Giroud is someone that has aged very well. He has aged excellently. I think I'll say PSG Milan, but if any of those other two teams make it in place of Milan, I won't be surprised. The surprise there will be if PSG doesn't make it. That will be the surprise for me.
So for me, I'm picking PSG Dortmund, and it would be an absolute disgrace if Dortmund don't make second round. And I'm saying that to you, Chike. Don't worry, I will explain it when the time comes. Let's
Okay,
go to
all right.
Group G.
Group G, very easy. City, and Leipzig. I mean, I don't know that Red Star and Young Boys will do anything. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, that's like that should be easy. Leipzig, I like what they've
they
done
keep
with their
giving.
attack.
Yeah. So
So I mean, they've lost Nkunku, they've lost Szoboszlai, but they've also gotten
Szoboszlai,
some. Yeah, they've also gotten some good players back. They got Openda from Lens, which I think Arsenal. That guy is somebody that could have caused Arsenal some trouble if he was still at Lens, but he's at Leipzig now. I think he scored 23 goals or so last season for Lens when they finished second in the league. So that was a very good signing for them. And of course, they got Sesko. So they made some very
but
good
Sesko,
signings.
that's a really good player, Sesko. I really rate that
Sesko.
kid.
Danny Olmo dealt with Bayern just a few weeks
Bayern,
ago.
weeks ago.
So I see them going through alongside Man City.
Yeah, and then Group H. Yes. Also, although Shakhtar, they used to have good Champions League pedigree, but not anymore. I don't know if they still have as many Brazilian players, but I see Barca, Porto going through.
Same.
Shakhtar Donetsk can just be.
They may throw a surprise to Porto, but I think
Yeah, they
in terms
should
of
those two.
qualification,
Yeah,
Barca,
those two.
Porto. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think. Well, any other comments, guys?
No.
So at this point, I think we should just because we're running long. I think we should just move on to predicting the scores for this week, and then next week we can solely focus on Manchester United. Chike, you can come back.
No. Let's do it now. Chike is. You don't want to have to keep Chike awake for another week. You're trying to keep me away for a long time now. And for those who don't know, Chike is 7 hours ahead of us, and he always has to stay awake to join this podcast. So
we appreciate it.
That should, now that
we teed that up so that you guys can know how dedicated he is and how much we appreciate him. That's why we enter like that. We're obviously not going to postpone it to next week. No, we don't do such here. So Manchester United, what's going on at the club? Are you people happy with Ten Hag?
I know Sherwin is not happy with Ten Hag. Me, I'm more warm towards him. I like what he did last season. I like the way he took control of the team. I like the way he managed the team. Maybe not necessarily coaching, but I like the way he managed the team. We needed a strong figure, and he was that. But this season, he's I don't know. I think right from the preseason, there have just been lots of red flags here and there, and they've been of proper concern. Honestly, I think it's the problem that United are having is way more than Ten Hag itself. Shane, what are your thoughts on Ten Hag? Like I said, I know you're not his biggest fan.
So we had this discussion last season, and I said I'm Ten Hag out, and you don't believe me because some of us can see the future. And I already see the future, and I can see how it's going to end. It's not going to end well. So I would say there's a lot of things wrong with the club, and everybody has played a big part to the management, the owners, Ten Hag himself, the players. It's just ridiculous what's going on right now because I don't understand the recruitment policies, and how they've been able to or how they are handling the squad size and strength. And I think one thing that gets me riled up anytime I think about it is how we've been able to let go our young talents for cheap. Like I cannot just believe it for the love of God. How we've been able to carry out that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I can't even call it money laundering because we're not making money. So what is the point?
Look,
Because
simply put, right? Simply put, Manchester United is a poorly run club, and it's sad that the larger part of this incompetence is at the very top. So,
yes,
from those clueless owners to the decision makers who aren't decisive enough in their actions, and so when there's like a rare occasion where the club manages to bring in someone who is very well established in their field, they kind of ultimately become victims of this dysfunction. So the last time I was here, right, we spoke about the functions and the importance of the
yeah,
director of football, and
yeah,
I specifically mentioned Monchi and his importance to Sevilla's success over the years, right? And since then, Aston Villa has hired him, and you can see the smart business they've done since
yeah. Those
then.
guys have gone really
So
well.
they picked up Pau Torres, Diaby, and Yuri Tielemans. Then as soon as Buendia and Mings picked up season-long injuries, they signed Zaniolo and
Zaniolo.
Longley on loan, right? Smart and efficient business all around. And okay, right now he has given Unai Emery all the tools to work, and it's up to Emery to deliver, right? But at United, right, this our director of football, John Motto, and his entire recruitment department, they've been terrible, and that's just putting it lightly. What I said last time, I still believe that is that there's an over reliance on Eric Ten Hag to use his personal influence to get players. So it's either the club is signing players that Eric Ten Hag has personal relationships with, or the club is overpaying for players, or in the case of Anthony, both. You get so there has barely been any smart business done in the last 2 seasons. Maybe Malaysia, and that was because Marseille already had the bid accepted for him, so Man United pretty much just hijacked the
Just
deal,
I
and
did, yeah.
they paid what Marseille had tabled down. You get, and they just swooped in, paid the same amount, and that was it. So honestly, I believe Eric Ten Hag did a fantastic job last season. It's not easy to make to have what do you call it to make finish third in the Premier League, and you have to remember that he had no striker to work with. Ronaldo was out. Martial was always injured. Veghorst was Veghorst. You get so he finished third. He won one cup. He got knocked out of the other two cups by the eventual winners, Sevilla and Manchester City. I think last season was a very good showing by him. It was a very good debut season, regardless of what you think about his tactics or whatever. I think it was a very, very good season. But now the club has failed to build on that, and it's a huge disgrace that this is what it has come to. I know he has his own problems or his own issues, and for me, it's playing two of his best attackers out of position. When he plays Bruno Fernandes on the right, and then he plays Rashford up top. That thing, it infuriates me, man. I feel like tearing out my hair because how can you play two of your best attacking players out of position at the same time more often than not? It makes no sense. And last match rather against Nottingham Forest. I know it's Nottingham Forest. It's not like the biggest or the strongest opposition, but you could see Rashford. He looked alive playing on the left. You saw him, he had 2 assists. I mean, that's what you get from him playing in his natural position. He likes running at defenders. So just putting him up top and having him isolated from the whole game, it doesn't work. So I know he has his own faults, but honestly, I think the problem is that there's an over reliance on him to use his personal influence to get players. If Ten Hag is not recommending players, I wonder what this recruitment department will be doing. Because I don't know the signing of Mason Mount. Honestly, I believe it should attract at least a 5-year jail sentence. That is that is that is stupid. That is a crime. That is criminal, especially for that amount that was paid. You get so there's a lot there, and it's a shame that Ten Hag is going to be the fall guy as
I
usual.
know, I know you love Ten Hag because you've given so many excuses for him. I mean, I don't want to hear any excuse because let's even say they are banking on his pool power and the players that has played for him in the past. So you're telling me that he looked all over the world for the players that have played for him, and the people he could pick were Ghosts, Mount.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not. I'm sure. Vegas wasn't his option A. You get it's left to the recruitment department. They're not doing nearly enough. Obi is an Arsenal fan, right? And I'm sure he knows that his own Edu and those other guys, they are doing smart business. Sometimes they might have to
Yep.
overpay, like with Declan Rice. Obviously, they overpaid, but at least they're getting the business done. They know their targets. They are going all in. They're getting their targets. It's not the same for Manchester United. You get it's not the same.
Okay.
Look, I mentioned and again the director of football, right? It's not just about knowing what and knowing who to do or being a good negotiator and all those things. You also need contacts, right? And that's one thing Munchie has in excess. He has because of his years and years and of being in that role, he has contacts over Europe. So when once two of his players went down with season-ending injuries, he already knew who to contact. He was already on it, and look at them; they've been replaced on loan deals that won't cost the club that much. You get, and when you look at Manchester United, they've been without a striker they were without a striker for what was it 6 months? You get, and they went to. Well, I'm not going to throw dirt on Rasmus Højlund because I like what I saw last season. I think he's going to do well, but I'm going to be very measured with my expectations. But
Okay, so but the thing is, another thing that you've not addressed is him letting those young players leave, knowing fully well that we don't have enough players. Let's even say, oh, so because someone has made the excuse that he wants to play a certain style of football. I'm like, okay, I'll give you that, which I've not seen, but I'll give you that. Why let go those players when you don't have enough players to execute the season?
okay, so but for the young, when Man United, you know what Man United they've been trying to do this season, right? They've been trying to raise funds, and whose fault is it that the United's our finances have been messed up? Is it Ten Hag's fault? He just came in last year. Is it his fault that the finances have been messed up? Obviously, it's not his fault. So it's John Morton that is letting go of players. You get they need to raise money and they're selling these players. You get so it's not his own fault. They need to raise money. And what else can he do? It's
Right,
either
but
he sells all these players or he sells one high profile player. So someone like Rashford. I'm going to sell Rashford for like let's say 150 million because there are teams that will pay 150 or let's say 120 million for Rashford.
someone came for
Now,
250 now.
who wants to pay 250 for Rashford?
PSG.
Let's behave ourselves, please. It's Rashford.
PSG came now.
I love Rashford, but please, it's Rashford we're talking about, please. It's not Mbappe. It's trying to
Thank you. So sometimes
Okay,
Sheon
I
overvalues
beg,
players.
please.
I'm glad.
I
But
beg,
I'm glad he's a
I beg.
United fan putting him in his
I,
place. So
please, I love Rashford, I beg, but please, let's be serious.
but
he's not.
but
Can we say he's not that good, right?
Open, I don't put words in my mouth, please.
He's not that good.
He's not
okay.
that valuable.
Anyways,
He's not that expensive. That's the word. Not that
He's not
that
that good.
but so
Okay.
my own point is yes, you can sell those kids, or I'll give you. I don't agree with it, but I understand. Okay, you sell those kids for cheap. How does that make any sense? Because
What I'm saying is not Ten
Good.
Hag that is making those deals. He's not the one going to those meetings or negotiating with other teams. He's not doing that. He might say, okay, sell this guy. I might not use him this season. You can go ahead and sell him, but he's not the one that is bringing in those poor deals. You get. So if you want to put blame on people, don't blame like I can't blame John Morton now for the goal he conceded the opening game, that the opening goal that's against Awoni's goal.
Nottingham Forest,
I
Awoni's
can't
goal.
blame John Morton. What's Morton's deal with how our defensive transition? It makes no sense if I'm blaming him. It's the same way I can't blame Eric Ten Hag for all those poor deals. That's not his role. He can only approve the sale of a player. He say, okay, yeah, this guy, approve him. You can sell him. I don't have any use for him, or I'm not going to use him this season. You can go ahead and sell him. Whatever deal that is being struck is not his own fault. It's John Morton's fault. So you need to place the blames on the appropriate people. You can't place the blame for the first goal on John Morton. Now, what's his own business with how he defend and how he attack on all those things? You get so that's the point I'm trying to make. I
So,
get where you're coming from, but
so if you add all the sales that we've done this season, it's not up to 10 million. No. So can I buy a player with it?
No. I mean, it's more than it's poor, but obviously it's not. It's
It's
more
not
than
to 10
3
million.
million.
I'm telling you, it's not to 10
Why?
million.
Like, we just sold this guy for 20 today now. What's his name? Dean Henderson. We sold it for.
Oh, we
20.
did? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he's gone to Crystal Palace.
Okay, so 20,
Elanga was 15 million.
so 20 plus 10, 30.
But I agree with you. They've been very poor deals. That I'm not going to argue with you. Even the Henderson self that we sold for 20 million. Why are we selling for? He's a more established player than Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer went for over 40.
Can you believe? Like, no,
Yeah.
yesterday I was pissed.
Yeah,
I was really pissed. Like, how come this guy is going for this amount of money? And all our players, when you add all the money together, it's not up to half of his.
But what I'm saying now
of
is
his
that
value.
don't use that vex and say it's Ten Hag's fault for negotiating poor deals. He's not the one in charge of those things. You get?
Okay, let's round up this section. What position do you think United is going to end up this season?
If I had to put my money on it, I'll say the best we can finish is 4th. But me, I'm thinking 5th.
Okay.
Sheo, how about you?
So the same way I had Arsenal second, the same way I have United third, but both of them with asterisks, because I know how this is going to end.
Sure.
Because United has not started well, and it's the same thing that happened last season. So we would mess up the whole season and now try to catch up at the end.
Sure.
And that's what's going to happen.
So on this end that you just called, please let me just say something before we wrap up. Because I always want to let United fans know this and make their peace with it on time. So that let's not get to April now, everybody start crying. Know this and know peace now. From game week 31, this is Man United's fixtures. From game week 31, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Next game, Liverpool at Old Trafford. Next game, Bournemouth at Vitality. Next game, Newcastle at Old Trafford. The next game, Burnley at Old Trafford. The next one, Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. The other one, that's game week 37 now, Arsenal at Old Trafford. And then the final match day, Brighton away. So please, make your peace with the fact that United is going to drop one. I don't want us to get to that stage and then you now start crying that what is this nonsense? No, it is going to happen. We are going to lose like 3 games out of our last 8. It's going to happen.
3. I'm hearing I had like 5.
Okay,
so it was the way in Bournemouth.
So in conclusion, not top 4.
So just be very realistic. For United to get into the top 4, right? They need to be in that position that Arsenal were in last season, where with like 8 games to go, they were very comfortable in that top 4. You get, and I'm not sure I see that happening. I don't see that happening. Maybe if we get knocked out of the FA Cup or the League Cup very early, then that might happen. So we get to play.
You get knocked out of the Champions League early, Sha. So that's you can count on that.
Honestly, I don't mind Champions League. I don't, but I think those cup games, those deep cup games. So the thing is that you might get knocked out of the Champions League and then fall into the Europa, which is worse. So honestly,
you get knocked out of there too. You get knocked out of there.
The earlier the better. Me, I want United to drop out of one of these cup competitions very early, so that we don't get to have so much mileage on our legs. You get, but to all United fans, please be very measured with your expectations. All these, we are going to finish 3rd. Mba, it's not going to happen.
Okay. Well, today on this podcast, I concede. There's no top 4 for United. I concede because I don't believe in this thing. I don't.
But a lot of things could change. I don't know how. I don't know how people might step up. So like last season for Arsenal, Martinelli and Saka, they really stepped up. You get, and that was why they were like ahead of schedule. Because I think every Arsenal fan can be honest about that. They are ahead of schedule, and they were ahead of schedule because Saka and Martinelli made leaps that they didn't expect.
Please, so which schedule are you always mention talking about? Are they going to win the league this season?
Yes.
So
not you.
Personally, I've always felt that Arsenal, with what I saw from them last season, right? I believe that they're going to win the league title within the next 3 seasons. Now, is it this season? I don't know. Is it next season? I don't know. But if I had to place money on it, I believe they are going to win the league title within the next 3 seasons. That's what I feel. What Saka and Martinelli showed last season, guy. Let's be honest. If you put every bias to the side, those two guys, they were special. And then of course there's Odegaard, and then there's Saliba. I think Saliba is actually the guy that gets mentioned in the list. That guy is
Yep. If he was fit, if he was fit, we would have won the league last season.
Okay. Please,
Saliba is a hot talent.
We're not talking about Arsenal because Arsenal seems to always make us derail our discussion. Back to the original discussion.
True.
Okay. So if United makes top 4 this season, it should be a shame on all other teams in EPL. And I said that to a few of my friends because it means they connived to make us make top 4 because we are not good.
So that's a stretch.
Wow.
It's not like United, they are like garbage, but it just feels like but it just feels like a lot has gone very wrong these early parts of the season, right? I know, but the thing is that they are still picking up points. They picked up 6 points out of a possible 9, and last season they picked up 3 out of a possible 9 to start the season. So the good news is that as much as they've been BS, they are still picking up points. And then another thing to note is that United are actually creating chances on a very high level. I think they're top 2 or top 3 in chances created, expected goals, all these things. So they have a problem when it comes to finishing moves, putting the ball at the back of the net. That's their major problem. So if Rasmus Højlund can hit, bro, that's but again, like I said, I don't want to put my hopes on a 20-year-old striker. It's very
He has never scored 10 goals in his life before.
No, don't say that, man. Don't say that. That guy had a good season last time around.
But he scored 10 goals.
How many goals? Have you seen his record? Have you seen his record in 2023?
He didn't play that many games now.
No, but but have you seen? He scored I think in all competitions he scored probably 17 goals or so. For a 20-year-old, that is an excellent record. Forget all these things you have seen about Mbappe and all these guys that made us forget what you call. So last season it was actually 22 goals for club and country. 6 goals in 6 games for Denmark, and those 6 goals came in 2023 alone.
Why you putting club and country together?
Now, how many 20-year-olds scored 22 goals a season? Honestly, you see, the thing about Ronaldo and Messi era is that they've spoiled us. People think scoring 30 goals is beans. Guy is not.
At least give me 20 goals.
Okay.
Give me 20 goals.
I don't think you
cannot be in a top club and be a top striker for a top club and not score 20 goals. Like in general, like come on now. Anyways,
my brother, he's 20. Let's just remember that.
Okay, so you be not know that he's 20 before you go and buy him.
So it's an investment for the future.
Okay. Anyways,
the only thing I'll say about him, and this is the final thing I'll say about Højlund. Why I like him is that he's ugly. I like ugly strikers.
Damn!
The last time Manchester United won the Champions League, we had Rooney and Tevez. And look how
Tevez, my guy.
And look at how Haaland is destroying guys at Man City. It's very good to have an ugly striker. Those guys are the way to go.
Okay, let's move ahead. I beg. Let's move ahead.
Anyway,
they talk about Man United always makes
yeah, he gets in his feelings. See, that's
why it's okay. Just make your peace with all these things, and you will live a very
I have. Trust me.
Life. Yeah,
I did last season. I knew from last season, middle of last season, I knew there's no hope for the next. Until this guy leaves, there's no hope. But let's go. Let's move ahead.
Anyway, so March week 4. So after this is the last round of games before the first international break. So after the games on Sunday, we'll go on a 2-week break before games start again. So quick predictions: Luton West Ham is tomorrow, so Friday. For those of you that play fantasy, remember to set your teams. I expect West Ham to win this game. I think Luton will struggle this season, so that's a West Ham win. You guys, quickly.
West Ham, yes.
Yeah, West Ham.
Sheffield Everton. I see Sheffield.
Sheffield.
Yeah,
Uh,
because it's in their home.
I think Everton, because Everton, they finally got a striker. They got him better. He scored yesterday in the League Cup. They've been
Yeah.
unfortunate. I mean, they're a useless team, but they've been unfortunate. I won't lie to you. In the opening games, they've been creating chances. They've not just had the person to put them in. If Beto can
To
click, then
finish.
yeah. So I'm indifferent,
Well,
but
but
yeah, I'll
this
lean
guy's
Everton.
injured. Calvert-Lewin is injured, right? So
Yeah, he had like I think
he had a
a
concussion. Yeah.
fracture on his face or something like that.
On
Very
his
unlucky
Yeah.
face.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Brentford, Bournemouth. I
Brentford.
see Brentford. Yeah,
Yeah,
Brentford. Yeah, Brentford.
Brentford.
They are home. Burnley, Spurs. Spurs.
Company.
Yeah.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Go punish Burnley.
Spurs.
Oh, I don't know. Burnley, have they even picked up points this season? They've lost all three
Nope.
games,
They
right?
haven't. They haven't. No.
This
Yeah.
might look like one of those games where, but yeah, Tottenham. I like Madison. He's grown on me this season.
I really like James Madison. Chelsea, Nottingham, Chelsea. I think they're
Chelsea.
finding themselves.
Chelsea
Yeah.
should. They should.
City, Fulham.
Mm,
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
yes.
Chike. Yeah.
yeah, I guess Chelsea. Well, I will need to score, sure.
City,
I
Fulham.
want you to score.
City, easy. Haaland may get hat trick this time around, but City
Yeah,
win definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
same here, Man City.
Sure.
Hey, City now. I don't need to talk. City. City
Brighton,
United.
Newcastle. Brighton, Newcastle. This is a
That's
tricky
an
one.
explosive game.
This is a tricky game.
I feel like Brighton should win this game, but I'm surprised if it's a draw.
I'm
Newcastle
leaning
might
towards a
surprise
draw.
them actually.
Yeah,
I'm leaning towards a draw.
I'll pick a draw
So,
too.
so that I split it, I actually go Newcastle, even though that's bad for my fantasy. But I go Newcastle. Palace, Wolves. I
Palace.
say Wolves. I say Wolves.
I don't know. I think Palace. I'll stick with Palace with
Palace.
this.
Palace.
I go Wolves. Liverpool, Villa.
Aston Villa. Aston Villa all the way.
That's a tricky one, but I think I will go. God,
It's Anfield,
that's
man.
going to be a good match.
It's Anfield.
Yeah,
Anfield without Van Dijk.
that's a tricky one.
Aston Villa all the way.
I think I'll stick with Liverpool. That's the safe choice. I'll be safe here.
I think I'll go. Oh, that's a tricky one. I'll go Villa though. I'll go Villa,
At
and
Anfield.
then
That's-
I know it's an Anfield, but like I really like what I'm seeing with Villa, especially with this Musa Diaby guy. He's really good. He's really good. And then Arsenal United. Give me my 3 points. Give me my
Go
three
first.
points.
Chike, go first.
Arsenal now, obviously.
Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate.
Thank you.
But wait, if United wins, oh god.
I mean, if
God.
if United wins, Arsenal they should be ashamed of themselves
I
because
swear they should be ashamed.
United's midfield is
It's
absent.
rubbish.
Is absent.
Yeah.
You can run.
Which is why-
People are running through Casemiro. Any bro, it's bad. So I think Arsenal.
which
should be a
is
lot of-
why you won't win. But yeah, no. So Arsenal should win that. And with that, we've come to the end of this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you found it informative, given the wide range of topics we looked at. Any last word, boys?
So Chike has a podcast that they what's the word now? Brought back to life with T.O.W.N. He was once our guest last season. So Chike, now tell us about your podcast. Advertise your podcast for free.
Yeah, guys, it's a Clean Tackles podcast. So it's a weekly podcast. Pretty much what we do here as well. Just talk about the beautiful game. But what we also do is that there's the part 2 of our podcast is called the Bird Watch, and on the Bird Watch we focus on our 2 favorite birds, which are the Eagles and the Falcons, which of course are the Nigerian national teams for the men and the females. So there's Nigerian talk there. The second part of the show. It's a roundtable format, so we are like 5 guys there: T.O.W.N, Chike, Bayo, and Shola, and of course myself. So 5 guys. We talk from every week. So you can check us on. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, and of course Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from.
Nice one. Hopefully, we would invite you guys to have a roundtable with us too at some point.
Yeah, that'll be fun, man.
Yeah. Have some like cross show episodes. That'll be
Yeah,
good.
man. Yeah, man.
Okay, once again, thank you so much, Chike, for staying up. We know we stressed you. We're supposed to have recorded this earlier in the week, but we appreciate you, and to the audience, thank you for listening. And then we'll see you next week during the international break.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening and pray for Arsenal's downfall.
Cheers, guys.
Gunners,
Yeah.
Lawa. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.